can't believe you. I gave you barbecue. It's supposed to be only you. Wait a minute. I heard they got you on the side.
A press conference featuring Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez nearly became chaotic as the tempers of the two fighters flared. Shakur Stevenson has been especially outspoken in rejecting Lopez, describing him as merely performing to hide his own self-doubt, and the challenger perceives what he views as dramatic displays of false assurance, convinced Lopez is frantically trying to fabricate a tough guy image. In reality, Stevenson notes his foe has never actually broken an opponent's spirit in the ring for all the talk of mental warfare, and he points out that fighters like Steve Claggett and George Kambosos finished every round against Lopez, never giving up.
Nervous, and he's giving off energy as if he's trying to dilute his brain into believing things that are basically not going to happen. I just don't understand how he can dilute his brain into believing that when he didn't make Steve Claggett, that's his name, Steve Claggett, quit. He didn't make him quit. He didn't make George Kambosos quit. He did not make Lomachenko quit. So what in the world makes him think that he's going to make me?
Stevenson assesses Lopez as championship caliber, but the meaning is evident as Lopez has not shown he can damage elite opponents, and Stevenson has no desire to become the exception to that pattern. Stevenson is asked about Lopez, who recalls tough bouts facing Sandor Martin and Jermaine Ortiz, but Stevenson surpasses that reality as those difficulties disclose flaws Stevenson believes he can capitalize on with more skill than Martin had displayed, which is a good point.
He's had two questionable performances against Southpaws. Do you feel like he struggles against Southpaws because he beat two very good ones?
I mean, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. They say he beat two very good Southpaws. I don't want to take credit away from him. He did what he's supposed to do. But I do know with Josh Taylor, he was dying at the weight class. He was dying at 140 pounds. He was too big for that weight. Like, he shouldn't have been fighting. So I can't say he beat the best versions of them guys. I'm not taking that away from him. Teo's a tremendous fighter, but I don't look at that and be like, oh, that was amazing. Like, it was a great performance. He did what he was supposed to do.
He talks about reaching his ultimate prime and having forged a version of himself during this 12-week training period that will not yield to intimidation. While some opponents may have faltered against Lopez's psychological warfare and bold displays, Stevenson feels his mental readiness has shielded him from such tactics, and he views this bout as a chance to unmask Lopez globally and demonstrate definitively who merits being recognized as the superior fighter.
You and your legacy to do what you know you're going to do on Saturday.
It means everything. I trained really hard for this moment. Blood, sweat, tears is all on this, and I had a hard training camp, 12 weeks, and I'm just ready to show.
Though Lopez has dismissed any idea of camaraderie or shared esteem between them, when Stevenson sought cordial interactions during fight week, Lopez saw these actions as deliberate manipulation meant to lower his guard, and he refuses to embrace any false kinship, maintaining they are adversaries sharing nothing but their impending date in the ring. The champion highlights a stark contrast between Stevenson and the quality of foe he met in Lomachenko, as Lopez views the Ukrainian legend with far greater esteem, seeing him as a complete combatant with an elite record that overshadows all Stevenson has accomplished, and this comparison works to lessen Stevenson's standing for Lopez, placing him a step below the elite competition the champion has already conquered.
Not the fight, my career. Far different, guys. Way different. That's a different type of ball game. But I wouldn't be in this position if God Almighty didn't believe I could do it.
Why do you feel your career is at stake? Being that you're 28 and...
Nah, it's just what it is. Just what it is, B.
He also presents the implications of this bout distinctly for both men, as he asserts Stevenson possesses a safety net as the current lightweight champion, meaning a loss would simply return him to a weight class he already commands. However, for Lopez, absolutely everything is on the line, with his whole professional path in jeopardy, igniting a deep urgency and resolve he feels Stevenson cannot equal. His training has involved eliminating all distractions and directing every bit of concentration toward this sole objective, and Lopez speaks about locking away everything else in his life to prioritize the bout, embracing a level of dedication that sets him apart, and he intends to rely on the mental fortitude honed through years of pressure and his technical expertise, while cautioning that should Stevenson elect to initiate battle, the outcome will be fierce and explosive.
Know your game plan. How do you feel like he's going to approach you?
I don't know. I think that with Shakur Stevenson, you know, his fight with Cepeda, this was a good run for him to get to this point right now. And I think that's just why we're at this pinnacle in the ring 6 and why it's all happening now. So, but seeing him stylistically in that fight doesn't mean that he's going to carry that every time.
Right.
If he does, we're ready. And if he doesn't, we're also ready for that too. Knowing Shakur, he might mix it up.
And
In both ways, stylistically.
And if he does that?
And if he does that, then grab your popcorn early. You know, get your popcorn early, get your beer early, and you know, sit down and...
Opinions regarding this contest disclose just how difficult it is to foresee, with Paulie Malignaggi, whose analytical authority comes from his own successful career, admitting a slight favoritism for Stevenson while recognizing the peril Lopez creates when cornered, as Malignaggi has noted a peculiar tendency throughout Lopez's career where he shines most when doubted and struggles most when favored. For his track record demonstrates Lopez stepping up against premier opponents exactly when critics dismissed him, producing superb showings that surprised many doubters. But conversely, when anticipation is elevated and he is listed as the favorite, Lopez has at times appeared distracted and not delivered the anticipated domination.
Yeah, Johnny, I do, but Teo is not something to play with, because when he's got his back to the wall, he becomes the most difficult guy to deal with, you know? And he's got his best performances when people count him out. And then when people feel like he's going to win easily, he's got his worst performances. So this is one of those times where Teo could make it really, really interesting. Shakur, for me, is a possible pound for pound #1 at one time. But if there's a guy who can be a threat to him, it is Teo, because Teo has that little bit of difference-making ability.
Is it a 60-40 fight? Is it still close?
I mean, it's probably 60-40, maybe even higher, but that's a live 30 and 40 by Teofimo, because again, the way he shows up is very, very difficult and tricky.
But it's very rare for fighters to fight in their prime nowadays. They're both, 28 years old. They're fighting in their prime.
Yeah.
You got to give a lot of respect to both of them, right?
Yeah, you do. And that's the problem. You don't see a lot of fights happening in the guys' primes. They milk the money and stuff like that. That's why I give guys...
Junior offers the viewpoint of a legendary 4-division titleist, as he suggests Lopez must deem attempting to outbox Stevenson from range an avenue to inevitable defeat given the incredibly swift hands and defensive prowess, and conversely Lopez must display a readiness to take risks by landing his own heavy strikes, as this battle will ultimately boil down to which fighter has more desire and is prepared to endure the physical toll required.
Teo and vice versa, stylistically, how does Teo beat you?
Stylistically, Teo got to go in and go for broke. He got to go gamble. He got to take some, get some, and that's his only way to win. If he stays outside and boxes, Shakur gonna pick him apart. Shakur's a polished boxer, some of the best feet in the game right now, and he's a defensive-minded fighter, which is very smart. It's hard to hit him. He makes you gamble to hit him, and he's gonna be a tough one to deal with. But if Teofimo is willing to...
Oscar Valdez imparts knowledge from his own history after adversity in 2022, as many observers thought Valdez might inflict Stevenson first loss, but he instead sustained a 6th-round knockdown and lost every round. So Valdez learned firsthand the specific frustration Stevenson generates in rivals, and he cautions Lopez not to let such irritation control his behavior, while Valdez underscores the vital importance of adhering to the strategy the corner devises and implementing it with total focus throughout all 12 rounds.
To go off paper, I would say Shakur Stevenson, but I would hate to say that because I can see Teofimo Lopez doing the opposite. And then it's going to be like, I thought, Oscar Valdez thought Shakur was going to win and Teofimo won. He was like, no. I think Teofimo Lopez, it's a 50-50 fight, in my opinion. Because, Teofimo's been proving it before. And I gotta emphasize this, if someone can pull it off, it's definitely Teofimo Lopez. If Teofimo Lopez doesn't do it, I don't see who's gonna beat Shakur Stevenson. I don't see another fighter who will beat him. As I know I said Pitbull, I think because Pitbull came with some problems, but I wouldn't see no one else beating him unless Shakur Stevenson goes to 147, and then he's obligated to have some competition with I don't know, Ben Connor and all the other welterweights.
Tezhan Davis, an undercard fighter facing Ortiz, expects Stevenson to defeat Lopez quite easily, and Davis cites Stevenson's remarkable ring intelligence as the crucial factor, noting a mental keenness and tactical insight surpassing what most boxers possess, and he feels Stevenson's readiness for this chance will overpower Lopez, as the challenger studied all facets of the champion style to develop specific counters, with Davis indicating Stevenson boxing smarts enable him to stay many steps ahead, foreseeing actions before they occur and positioning himself to diffuse danger.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Teo know exactly who he's facing. And I just feel like Shakur is just so focused, so locked in. But not only that, I just feel like his IQ was just on a whole nother level. Shakur IQ was crazy, for real. And he's gonna show that, January 31st. He's gonna show that he levels ahead of Teofimo, for sure.
And you're a person that really can speak to the acumen of Shakur Stevenson, because you guys have been training together since you've been youngsters. A bit of a prodigy, he's always been. Talk to us about that level of special to the level of special that we're seeing now from Shakur Stevenson.
Man, Shakur always in the gym, number one. He's always working, like, for real, for real. Me and Shakur talk about this sport all the time, and he always say how much he loves this sport. And I'm like, shit, I wish I loved this sport how much you loved it, because shit, I don't really give a damn. Like, I just like fighting, for real. But Shakur really loves boxing. Like, he really loves boxing, you know what I'm saying? So, like, Shakur, like, he remind me of, like, Muhammad Ali. Like, you gotta kill Shakur for him to lose in that ring. Dead ass serious. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, Shakur just loves this sport so much for him to even come close to anybody. You know what I'm saying? And, again, y'all gonna see this shit January 31st.
Just a different level of dedication from Shakur Stevenson all the way around, huh?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. He's different, bro, and I'm glad I got a chance to even watch him. Like, I'm blessed to be around him, just to see just the work ethic that he has since he was a kid up until now. He still has it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a blessing for me just to be around and see it.
Antonio Tarver offers a more intricate view, recognizing that Lopez's best shot necessitates embracing his risk-taking tendencies and bold approach. As Tarver observes that Lopez does not adhere to a fixed strategic design, rather adjusting based on what each moment requires, so his varied approach coupled with true bravery might in theory pose challenges even for an opponent as proficient as Stevenson. And Tarver pinpoints Lopez's footwork as a possible tool for getting past Stevenson's jab to create close opportunities, as the champion readiness to exchange punches might create moments of success throughout the contest. Nonetheless, Tarver questions Lopez winning by decision, implying he would probably require a knockout to secure the victory.
Be his ultra self, doing all the things that makes him Teofimo Lopez. The footwork could be a major advantage for him. Being able to get inside. A lot of times he fights free. He don't really have a style. He does what it takes. And he's a gutsy fighter. Real gutsy. He's not going to be leery to take chances. He's a gambler in there. You know what I'm saying? So he's a live underdog, I would say.
Alright everyone, stay tuned for the latest in boxing news, highlights, events, and stories. Subscribe to Glory and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Be sure to watch our other videos too. Until next time, take care and stay safe.